Hey guys, welcome back to the show. Today on this Saturday, hope you're having a great Saturday. I'm going to be talking about a couple of things, got a couple of videos coming out today. But this article is from the Federalist. It's talking about, so Dr. Fauci testified at Capitol Hill earlier this week, and he refused to say whether mass protests should be limited to stop the coronavirus spread. It was really interesting. And this is by Tristan Justice at thefederalist.com. But before we get going, thanks for tuning in again. Please like, comment, subscribe, and thank you guys all to that have subscribed so far. So Dr. Anthony Fauci, who leads the National Institute of Allergy and Infectious Diseases, dodged questions Friday on whether he would recommend states place limits on mass protesting, just as they have with churches and funerals to curb the spread of the novel Wuhan coronavirus. Do protests increase the spread of the virus? Ohio Republican Congressman Jim Jordan asked plainly during a House hearing of the Special Select Committee investigating the Trump administration's pandemic response. He says, "I think I can make a general statement," Fauci responded. "Crowding together, particularly when you're not wearing a mask, contributes to the spread of the virus." So Jordan asked again, and Fauci appeared confused because he's asking specifically about the protest. But he's very evasive that he won't condemn the protest. And he eventually gets to a third time, and Fauci called the question irrelevant. And he goes, "Irrelevant?" He goes, "I don't think that's relevant," Fauci said. "I'm not in a position to determine what the government can do in a forceful way." Oh, you're not in a position to determine. Well, you've been determining that we shut down for months. You've been determining that people can't go to church, that people shut down their businesses, and those businesses that support their kids, their livelihood. I mean, like, this guy, if ever someone played both sides of the fence, but now he can't get back over to this side of the fence. He's stuck on that side, and he likes it over there. He's not coming back because he's turned into a celebrity, and I think he's quite enjoying it. And then Jim Jordan goes, "Well, you make all kinds of recommendations," Jordan said. "I'm just asking you, should we try to limit the protesting? Should we try and limit it?" He would not answer it. And this is all over Twitter. This one's from @BennyJohnson. Wow. Representative Jim Jordan grills Dr. Fauci on whether protests are increasing the spread of the virus. While Fauci had previously called the protesting risky, the White House's top official guiding the federal response to the coronavirus pandemic refused to answer in the affirmative and continued to assert his reluctance to opine on limiting anything. Fauci, however, has consistently been a proponent of state lockdowns, closing small businesses, placing bans on church gatherings as the nation deals with the Chinese virus. "I don't understand why that's not happening," Fauci said on CNN, of several states refraining from implementing statewide stay-at-home orders in April. "If you look at what's going on in this country, I just don't understand why we're not doing that. We really should be." And then that was on CNN, of course, which is always grim. And while Fauci wasn't a signatory of the June letter signed by more than 1,000 medical experts declaring racial inequality worse than the virus that's killed more than 152,000 people as of this writing. If you'd like me to read that again, because that makes no sense. Yeah, I'll read it again. And while Fauci wasn't a signatory of the June letter signed by more than 1,000 medical experts declaring racial inequality worse than the virus that's killed more than 152,000 people as of this writing, Fauci has blamed systemic racism for wreaking a disproportionate impact on the black community. You know, because coronavirus is racist. So, I mean, it picks and chooses. It's like artificial intelligence. Obviously, the African American community has suffered from racism for a very, very long period of time, and I cannot imagine that has not contributed to the conditions that they find themselves in economically and otherwise, Fauci said in testimony before the House Energy and Commerce Committee. I mean, of course racism is bad, but I would argue that in 2020 it's not. I mean, yeah, I'm sure I can't speak on it specifically, but I can say that America is a great place. It's a privilege to live in America, and like I'll as far as even for women, like women that say, "Oh, America's a horrible place." America is the greatest place for women in this world. There are still places in this world that have slavery. There are. So I mean, you can say what you want, but I think Fauci's a fraud. I think he's been for a little while now. He came off well at first, but now like just stuff he's doing, he's just contradicting himself. And just like when he threw out the opening pitch at that Nationals game, it's so funny because he goes out and throws the first pitch. And I'm not going to talk about how he didn't make it to the mound. He's 80 years old. I mean, give him a break. I think that's kind of a low shot. But he goes out there. There's a huge stadium. I think they're built for like 60, 70,000 people or close to that. He goes with a mask. No one's in the stadium. Hardly anyone's in the stadium. And he goes back to sit down next to two people. And they're not like spread apart. I'm guessing these are his friends or family. They're not spread apart like a couple seats. They're like close together. And if you've been to like a sporting event like NFL, MLB, NBA, like those seats are close together. You're like on top of each other. And he has his mask off. It's like, dude, what? So, I don't know. Just let me know what you guys think. It's gonna get worse this next couple of months. And you know, it's tough on Americans right now just because these narratives that are being pushed just aren't true. So, you know, do your own research. Like I always say, do your own research because it's just ridiculous how he would not condemn the protests. You can't go to church, but thousands of people together yelling, screaming, and spitting. When you yell and you get emotional like that, you end up spitting just all bunched up together. Do that all day long. I won't condemn that, so... Alright guys, we'll see you next time.